There are places on the planet that seem to have a mind of their own. Places where the logic of geography fails, where the sea swallows up the land, the wind blows silently, and the signal simply disappears. In the South Pacific, one of the vastest and most inhospitable regions of the ocean, there are centuries-old reports of islands that appear with the tide and disappear just as quickly. Small coastal formations that appear like mirages, seen by some navigators and denied by satellites. But what happens when someone tries to prove that they are real? This is the story of Dr. Larissa Maia, a brilliant, determined, and restless Brazilian scientist, and of an island that shouldn't be there. She left in search of a forgotten fragment of the world, and she never came back.
Larissa Maia was no ordinary adventurer. An oceanographer with a degree from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, or UFRJ, and a doctorate in coastal dynamics and global tides, she had already taken part in international ocean mapping missions, carried out research on the coast of Namibia, and collaborated with Japanese scientists on tsunami studies. While studying maritime geography, she came across something intriguing: a nautical map from 1872, a Portuguese chart depicting mobile islands located between -10 degrees and -12 degrees latitude in the Solomon Islands archipelago. These islands did not appear in any modern records. They were considered a cartographic error and disappeared from maps in the 20th century. But Larissa believed the ancient navigators. More than that, she wanted to prove them right. In 2023, after securing modest funding and local logistical support, she wrote in her diary, "It's not just about geography. It's about what the world has erased." On June 12, she sends her last email. "The island has appeared. I'm coming." A coordinate is attached: -10.3121, 160.7743. After that, nothing more. Absolute silence. Larissa set off from Honiara, the capital of the Solomon Islands, aboard a small, reinforced boat, accompanied by Kalani, an experienced local guide. With it, georeferencing equipment, underwater cameras, pressure sensors, supplies for 10 days, and a long-range VHF radio. The journey was short, 30 kilometers to the marked point, but the Pacific climate is treacherous. Winds change, the sea swallows routes, and it was in the early hours of the second day that the unexpected happened. The boat ran aground on a sandbank that didn't exist on any map. When the sun rose, they saw it. An island, narrow, with light sand, undergrowth, and rock formations that resembled steps. In the center, a small natural elevation. They disembarked. The GPS was failing, the radio squeaked. Kalani, restless, said he would return for reinforcements. Larissa decided to stay. She would never see that boat again. Larissa set up her camp on the highest point of the island, about 2 meters above sea level. She set up her equipment, activated the solar panels, and began to explore the unknown territory. With his thermal camera, he detected excessive heat in some of the central stones, an anomalous pattern. In a clearing, she found a circle of stones. In the center, driven into the sand, was an old metal stake, corroded by the sea. On it, a phrase engraved in English: "You are not the first." She filmed everything, but when I tried to send the data, nothing. On the 4th day, the tide behaved abnormally. In less than 20 minutes, 80% of the island was submerged. She retreated. She survived on algae, mollusks, and rainwater. The radio went silent. The GPS repeated the same coordinates. She began to hear sounds, wood creaking, distant voices, like whispers coming from the sea. The notes in the diary changed tone. Pressure, circle, movement. Something was happening. On the 6th day, exploring a cove revealed by the low tide, Larissa finds a buried plastic box. On the lid, the initials, JW 1983. Inside, a protected cassette recorder and a deteriorated notebook. The legible pages read, "The island moves. It never appears in the same place. GPS rotates. I'm stuck. Day 11. That night, Larissa shoots her last video. Exhausted, with deep-set eyes, she faces the camera. The island appears at low tide, but it's never in the same place. The image trembles. The sound of the sea invades everything. The camera falls. The last frame displays a new coordinate, minus 10.3219, comma 160.5924. On the current map, nothing, just deep ocean. Seven days later, local fishermen found Larissa's boat adrift. No sign of a struggle. The engine had been turned off. Inside, only the camera and a single intact video. The government dismissed the case as a disappearance in a remote area. But among scientists, Larissa's name has gained another status, that of martyr to human curiosity. Some suggest the island is a mobile volcanic formation floating on pockets of gas. Others defend the hypothesis of gravitational eddies. There are also those who speak of faults in the geodesic grid. What no one disputes is this. Since 1823, there have been records of islands appearing and disappearing in that region. All of them have been dismissed as errors. Since Larissa's case, 3 expeditions have reported GPS anomalies kilometers away. One of them reported seeing land on the horizon, and minutes later, it was no longer there.
Dr. Larissa Maia's body was never found, but her story spread like the waves she studied so much. The island she found, it's gone, or maybe it never wanted to be found. Today, navigators call this point the covert tide.
What if these islands aren't errors on the maps, but messages from the earth? Signs that there are limits to our search.
Beneath the calm surface, the Pacific still holds secrets.
What about you? What would you do if you were on an island that doesn't appear on any map? Would you risk staying? Leave your theory in the comments. Share it with anyone who loves real mysteries. And subscribe to the channel. Tune in, because over the next few weeks, We're going to explore other coordinates that the world insists on forgetting.